Alright, welcome to the first episode of Quest for Fives. And as the title suggests, we'll be going through a walkthrough of my 1969 Chevy Nova. I actually got this from my dad, who got it from his dad. So now, I get to deal with 50-year-old problems. But it's well worth it. So, this whole channel, we're going to be trying to get this car to go fives in the 8th mile. Right now it runs like a 780. So we're about 2 seconds off. Not too much off, but yeah, there's gonna be a lot to go with it. We'll get into more specs in a second. We're just going around, taking a look at everything. It's a pretty cool car. It's actually a badass car, not gonna lie. It's sick. But originally this car had a 396 big block in it. That blew up. Grandfather gave it to my dad. He also ran a big block in it. That blew up too. Now, I got it. Ran a 400 small block. Guess what? That ended up blowing up. And now, we've moved up to an LS, which I blew up. So, if you haven't counted yet, it's a lot of engines that blew up. This car's kind of got a curse. But it's alright. I got plenty of time to figure out why this thing keeps blowing up stuff. Well, we're going to start off with what we did to this engine. We took a set of truck headers, flipped them around, ran 2.5-inch piping all the way up to the turbo. From the turbo, we're running 3-inch stainless steel. Nothing in the front right now. It's up there on the table. But we do have all this finished up with my amazing TIG welding abilities. That was all sarcasm. I'm still learning how to TIG weld. Still practicing with it. All internals right now, we're running a stage 2 boost cam with a set of JP pistons. On top of that, we're still running a stock crank. We have brand new lifters in there. I had to buy a pair of valve springs as well just to get rid of that valve float that we're probably going to have in the engine. Right now the engine's probably sitting around 9.5 to 10 for more compression. But we're running low boost. We're still on 93 octane, so that's never good when you're trying to run a lot of boost in there. So we're going to run it on like 6 to 8 pounds. Which isn't going to be too much. It's going to be perfect for this thing. Eventually, once we want to get this thing up into bigger numbers, we're going to run it on E85 or water meth injection. Just whichever one. I like 93 just because it's right down the road. I can pick it up. I don't have to drive. At least here in Florida, I got to drive like 30 minutes to go get gas for my dad's car, which we'll go through and walk through later on. That'll be a mystery car for later. Interior of the car. My favorite part of this whole thing, the Kill Duff machine shifter. I don't know if you can see it too well. And of course, gotta hide the boost gauge. Don't want them to know. But overall, still roughly stock. Has the bench seat in the car still. Has a 6-point cage in there. Eventually want to change the loop part in the back so it goes over so I can fit another bench seat. And around the seat, this thing sits up to right around my lower thigh. So it's kind of, you gotta do like a jump into there. Speedometer gauge I'm gonna go over later on. I'm actually gonna be redoing that whole thing. I actually have it up on the counter. Just adding a couple things in there. Make it look a little cleaner. Overall, it's pretty nice. Headliner's one thing. Probably gotta replace later on. Originally just had this super glued up here, but came back down. Go to the back of the car now. Whoop. Running a 10.5 slick. Nothing bigger than that. It's perfect size for this thing. And we're still running a multi-leaf valve, which we're gonna change eventually. Still got slapper bars too. Slapper bars I'm gonna keep for a while until I get cow tracks, but next thing we're looking at, we got a 12-bolt rear end with 456 gears in there. Thing hauls ass at the 8th, but when you try driving a distance, this thing's screaming at like 5 grand. It's never good for the engine, but I like driving it around everywhere. Everyone likes to look at it. Like I said before, intercooler's over there. That's the one thing I gotta work on. Right now, I'm working on a transcooler. Getting all this ran. I got a pair of hard lines I'm probably gonna pop right around this corner. And then just bloop. I gotta flip this around. And then bloop, right into there. That'll be good. But biggest thing I'm gonna be working on, getting that all wired up, getting the transmission finished up. Fuel system's roughly finished up. Just ran into this little U from the regulator. But I gotta 8.0 clamp all that up, get all that out of the way. Right now it's just zip tied. Oops, stack of tires. But overall, didn't even get to talk about the turbo. It's a Chinese special, GT45. I've blown up probably 4 of those, all from just random stuff. Like I had one of them that the compressor wheel just fell out of it. Had another one that I don't know what happened. It just decided to spontaneously combust and blow apart. So turbos have not been my best friend, but I'm trying to make them my best friend. It's a forceful relationship, but eventually it's gonna work out. If not, then I'm just gonna put a bunch of nitrous on this thing, and that always works. But fiberglass bumpers on both ends, I'm definitely gonna be removing those. It's a 69, but we're running 72 bumpers on here. Which, if you don't know the difference between it, 72 has longer market lights as well, and also larger bumper lights. Usually they're a lot more narrow. Another part I got right here, SS hood. We changed it from a fiberglass to an all steel one. I gotta get that all painted up. I just decided to do rattle can sprint, so it looks a lot better on camera than it does actually. What else have we done to this thing? Right now I'm waiting on a computer harness. That should be coming in soon from Holley. It's gonna be a Holley Terminator X. And I'll definitely be doing a walkthrough of that whole thing on how that whole system works, the self-tuning, everything like that. Which I'm not gonna let the car just be self-tuned. I'm definitely gonna teach myself how to tune it all. Or eventually take it to a tuner. Don't really want to take it to a tuner because then it feels like I didn't do everything myself. I like to say that I did everything with me and my family, of course. But yeah, overall, this is it. This is what we'll be making go 5 seconds down the 8th. And if that actually happens, then we'll up the standards and we'll go 8s in the 4th. And so on and so on. I have a lot of goals. Some of the biggest things I'm gonna have to change is that up here, 640 is the fastest you can go with a 6-point. So this will have to eventually be changed to having the loop, which I'm not excited for. Really not. I don't want to really put a loop in this car, so maybe I'll figure something out. I think you gotta have an NHRA license at that point too, so I gotta look that stuff up and figure that out. But of course, we're keeping the setup. It's all gonna be steel. It's still gonna be on a 10.5. Not gonna run a bigger tire on this car. If it hooks and we go, then that's perfect. If not, then we'll make it hook and we'll do it. It's definitely not gonna pull wheelies. This hood weighs like 3,000 pounds, so it's gonna weigh the front of this car down. But yeah, I want it to be drivable. I want to be able to drive on the street, do everything I want to do with it, but I want to be able to take it up to the track and just dominate. That's the goal. That's the plan with this thing. So follow along, go on my Instagram, everything like that. We'll be doing updates on this car and all the cars we have. We also have a 65 Nova that I'll be working on too. You can kind of faintly see my giant list of stuff I had on there. But we'll be doing another list for my brother's car. Just 65 Nova, like I said. He wants to make it into a little 70s nostalgic car. And I'll do a little sneak peek of my dad's car before we'll go through a walkthrough of it later, which is a 68 Camaro. Probably one of the sickest cars. Do a little sneak peek of the engine later. Have something to look forward to in episode 2. But still, back seat, everything's in there. This is what I'll talk about, the cage coming down lower. Just makes it a lot easier to hop over. Now this car's a rocket ship as well. Still on 10.5s. Still with a 12-bolt posi and a 350 small block. Both these cars are mean. This car is really mean though. Neighbors love when we start that car up. But hopefully we'll be seeing you guys on episode 2. Be going through more mechanical stuff, and drop a comment of stuff that you guys want to see. I'm always open to stuff. You guys want me to walk through all the stuff we did to the engine, just completely in depth. Definitely be showing some of the stuff that I had issues with like the harness and computer systems. Originally I ran a micro squirt computer system, which was missing half the thing. Somehow we got this thing to run with it, and that was the vast majority of our issues running that. Different things like that. I definitely want to do episodes, showing different ranks on injectors. I want to do a set of uncapped injectors just to test them out against my SEMA Deco ones, which are 80-pound injectors compared to those. Because if that definitely works better, then I wasted a lot of money buying those ones compared to just uncapping the stock ones. But we'll do that. Got a couple videos, probably do a couple videos of TIG welding. It's not gonna look the prettiest. I'm still learning. So If you have tips for that, definitely let me know. Or any tips on building these engines. I'm still new to building these. I built a lot more small blocks than I did with these fuel injection cars. So I know my way around a carburetor a lot better than I do with just typing on a computer and hoping that it magically sends words to there and that it just makes it work. Waiting on that. Definitely one of the biggest parts I'm waiting on. All the rest of the stuff's gonna be coming together pretty quickly. So hopefully in the next coming month or so, should have my first fire up. And that's gonna be exciting because I haven't had this car start in the last shoot since probably January. I drove it and popped about 2 pistons out. And you know what? And we went to full rebuild mode and now here we are. About, is that 4 or 5 months now? I don't know time. But we'll see y'all soon. It's episode 1, of course, of hopefully many. Catch y'all later.